Greetings everybody, welcome back to Adore Cream, and here it is, my final promise video about the gold experience. Sorry it's taken so long, it's been really hot, been feeling really lethargic lately, and I've just been really slow at just getting anything done, but I've finally got my energy. And today we're going to talk about the gold experience, which is easily one of my favourite Prince albums of all time. It's about number 5 or 6 on my list. It's basically, I consider it his greatest album outside of his 80s classics. Now I just want to talk about Peace, Love and Prince. I mean, I think she's an amazing person. She gave me this absolutely beautiful one-off print, which has actually got Prince's lyrics to Adore printed in a sort of old single style fashion. She actually had it shipped over from Belfast in Northern Ireland, you know, so hopefully it dodged a few bullets along the way. You know, and they probably had a fit when they realised it was going to a Roman Catholic. But anyway, and she put this in here saying how special it was. I think it's really beautiful, and thank you so much, Peace, Love and Prince. Now I'm in two minds, and if you're watching this, girlfriend, okay, what should I do? Should I just put it like this in the plastic bag up on the purple wall? Or, because I really want to get the thing framed. I think it's too beautiful just to hang it on the wall. I want to frame it, but if I frame it, it's probably going to be hanging below my poster of Prince. This is beautiful. If I ever decide to sing Adore again in a Adore Cream video, this time I know I won't fuck up the lyrics, basically. So this is great. You know, it's actually got all the lyrics printed around it, as you can see. Thank you so much, Peace, Love and Prince. You're wonderful. You're a true funk soldier as well. I mean, if I'm a soldier, you're like the funk sergeant, basically. So there you are. Okay, so let's move right along. You know, I'm talking about this, the gold experience. And again, I mean, I noticed that my album reviews seem to do very well, so hopefully what will happen with this video is it'll get 30 views after 1 week, but come around March, April of 2020, it'll be up to 1,300 views, like my Love Sexy review album. I mean, that video has just gone ballistic. I mean, all my other videos, including the Days of Wilds one, have stayed stuck in the 40s. I think the first one went up to about 65, but that video has added about 300 more views since I last talked to you guys on the 1st of January. And I mean, I don't know, did I say something in that album that's just making people want to watch it and love it or something? And yet no comments have changed. I mean, the likes and hates haven't changed. People are just watching that video. It must be the power of Love Sexy, I think. But anyway, here we are. This is what I want to talk about. I mean, you guys probably wonder why I'm holding up this reggae old tape. Why I'm holding it up was because when the Gold Experience was released in the UK and the rest of the world on September 26, 1995, I queued up at my local record store and bought this tape. This tape is original. It's from 1995. It is the tape I bought. I wore it out. It still goes. See? That's all I could afford back then was this cassette. I remember buying it and looking at this picture and going, oh my god, what the hell has he done to his lips? It looks like he's wet his lips there. And I just think it's so beautiful. As you can see, I've really looked after it. I've kept it in good condition all these years. And I just bought this album. I just wore it the hell out, basically. And I mean, when I put it on, I mean, I already knew Beautiful Girl, and I'd already heard, you know, a couple of other songs, like I'd heard Dolphin on the radio, and I've heard of Gold, you know, but when I heard Endorphin Machine for the first time, I was like, what the fucking hell? Especially when Prince did that scream. I mean, Prince's friend, I know you love Prince's screams. I mean, and he dealt with the Endorphin Machine scream in the first video, but man, that is an amazing scream. Anyway, okay, so, and then, of course, you know, as time moved on, I upgraded from that tape when I moved up to this CD I bought a little while ago. As you can see, I think it's quite beautiful, and here you go, got the booklet. So first thing we're just going to do is we're just going to talk about the history and making of this beautiful album. Now I've already discussed it a bit in the Days of Wild videos. Now thanks again to Prince Vault for providing all this info. Now the album came out on September 25th, 1995 in the States, the next day for the rest of the world. Now what shocked me about this album was that all the music on it dates back 2 or more years. It's ancient music by the time it came out. What I found out was that of the tracks on the album, all the MPG operation, like the Welcome to the Dawn, the Playground of the New Power Generation, and Would You Like to Change Your Experience, all that stuff, that was taped in September 93 and March of 94. Now the oldest song on the album is actually probably my favourite song on the album, the two of them, Endorphin Machine and Dolphin, which were taped way back in January of 1993. To give you an idea of how old that is, that's a few months after Symbol, basically. And I mean, Endorphin Machine, I mean, that song, I mean, wow. You know, I mean, I think Prince was playing it on Act 2, and people knew of the song, but basically, that was, and then he did a lot of taping of music in, basically, September and October of 93. In September, Most Beautiful Girl came out, although I suspect this version you hear on this album dates from early 94. But the hit version, you know, when I talk about the hit video, that was recorded in September 1993. Okay, a whole shitload of songs were taped in October of that year. That included Now, 319, Shy, Billy Jack Bitch, and Gold were all taped in October 93. Okay, also, and then in early 94 they taped Shiz and I Hate You, you know, that amazing song, that's from early 94. Okay, in May of 94, We March was taped, and the last song that went on this album, which was in July of 1994, was Pussy Control. And that's the latest, and that's actually quite amazing, because, I mean, we all knew that from mid-94 onwards, Prince wanted to release the Come and the Gold Experience, and Warner said no, and Prince got snotty, so they never came out. Okay, there also there was another permutation of this album that was going to come out in early 94, just referred to as the Gold Album. This would have also included the songs Repop Go to Zipper, Interactive, Space, which of course, as you know, ended up on Come, Days of Wild. Why that song didn't go on the album is beyond me. I mean, that song is fucking amazing. A song called Strength, which I've never heard, and a version of Angie by the Rolling Stones, and then also recorded with Graham Central Station, The Jam. This is before Prince had got into Jehovah's Witness and everything. So this was just like a collaboration. As you know, Interactive ended up on Crystal Ball along with Repop Go to Zipper and Days of Wild. The Jam, Angie, and Strength, I mean, they don't exist outside the bootleg world, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't heard any of those songs, basically. But my guess is The Jam probably sounds like an early version of Jam of the Year, which again, you know, is just a sort of overdone song from the Emancipation era. Okay, another thing about this album too was there was a load of configuration that would have had everything on it, but it would have actually left off Pussy Control, because that song came in the scene very late. By the early 95 came around, Warner threw us out to release this thing. I mean, Prince had been talking about it a lot. People who were going to the Ultimate Live Experience were getting a bit put off because Prince was playing a lot of the Gold Experience on it, and as you know, apart from us in the bootleg world and those in the loop, you know, we did not have the album, we were not familiar with the songs. But I'm sure, you know, if you went to more than one or two of the Ultimate Live Experience concerts and Prince was playing Dolphin and Gold night after night, you'd soon realise that they were fucking fantastic songs. So there you go. Now let's just talk some numbers before we get into me reviewing the thing. The album was actually quite a big hit, even though it was 2 years old. It actually got to number 6 on the American pop charts, which did really well. And got to number 2 on the R&B charts. I think it was probably kept up by something like R. Kelly or Coolio or some stupid rap crap, basically. In the UK, it got to number 4. The Netherlands got to number 3. Here in New Zealand, it only got to number 35. It wasn't really that good. I mean, there weren't many people waiting for it. I mean, I was probably like the only person in Dunedin who bought it that day. You know, I mean, I love Prince, but I can't go out and buy like 10,000 albums to give him a platinum hit, basically. This was probably the peak of my my 1990s fandom. I mean, pretty much the Gold Experience. I mean, it was probably the greatest album Prince released for me while I was a fan of his current music. It was like, this was the first new album that came out, and people knew it was just great. And in a few minutes, I'm going to get into why I think this this album is so fucking great. Okay, so it did pretty well. The album went gold in America and it sold around about 750,000 copies. Unfortunately, the album has gone out of print. I mean, if it was still in print, because even though it was a Warner's MPG collaborative release, copyrights have kept it from being released with all the other Warner Brother products, along with Come, Chaos and Disorder, and The Vault. I mean, those 4 albums are notoriously difficult to find, you know. You pretty much have to go for out-of-print stuff, although I have heard something that the estate might be re-releasing all this stuff. But, you know, pretty much any album up after the hits is nigh on impossible to find. I mean, like, everything I've been showing in my recent videos, like my Gold Experience CD and my Come CD, all those things are original. I bought them back in the 90s. That's why I have them. And that's why some of them look a wee bit on the munted side, pretty much. So, basically, not to be rude, friends, but if you go to the Prince like in the 2000s, 2010s, you're going to find this shit bloody hard to get unless you get like a bootleg or you download it offline or something. Getting a physical copy, I have to brag, but you had to have been a fan back in the 1990s for this stuff. So anyway, so that's some history about it. Okay, we'll just talk about the people on the album. Pretty much it was the later new power generation. It was Prince. You had the power trio of, you know, Sonny and Michael B. There were 2 keyboard players. You had Tommy Barbarella and Morris Hayes both playing keyboards. You had Ricky Peterson, who was doing the sax, and I mean he was doing the production and also playing keys and adding bits and pieces. Kirky J was there. Mighty was singing. I think she does backing vocals in a couple of songs, and the Hornheads were in. They were created as the MPG Horns, led by Michael B. Nelson. And yeah, so it was pretty much a band effort, although pretty much realistically all the songs were written by Prince, pretty much. So it was just, again, people performing their music. And yeah, it was a great album. Sadly, only 2 singles came off it. 2 official singles, that was Most Beautiful Girl already, which was like last year, back in '94. The second single to come off it was Gold, was released as a single. It got to the low of the charts, but it had a very rocky B-side called Rock and Roll is Alive and Lives in Minneapolis. Apart from SST and Funky New Orleans, this was basically the last original B-side Prince put out on a single. Rock and Roll is Alive and Lives in Minneapolis is a pretty good rock song. I mean, it's a bit chaos and disorder sounding. I mean, it's alright, but it's not great. But the only really significant thing about it is that this song was recorded in September of 1995, so it's actually pretty current. Besides that, there are actually 3 promotional singles were put out between Beautiful Girl and this. Dolphin, Pussy Control and the Dolphin Machine were all released as promotional singles. None of them really went anywhere, none of them really had a wide distribution, and the B-sides to all 3 of these songs were basically more tracks of the Gold Experience. So if you have one of those promotional singles from the era, they're probably pretty rare. I don't have them, basically. You know, I mean, I used to have a copy of Gold, but unfortunately that got destroyed in the great Mum-Popalyx of 1998. And when I went for a search in my unit when I did a video, I was trying to find my Undertaker cassette and my Love Sexy poster of Prince. And I realised why these things did not survive was because when I went to Korea in 2002, I had to leave all my junk in a friend's basement. The basement was subterranean, there was a massive flood, and a lot of stuff got damaged, and that included a lot of my Prince collection. And I never forgave my friend for that, but unfortunately it didn't survive. One thing I did find that had survived in my storage unit was this. I'm going to talk about more in another video. This is a really cheap, shitty bootleg tape I bought in 1997. Now on it, I don't even know what's on this. Yeah, Welcome to the Dawn, basically. So it's actually got some of this Gold Experience era stuff. As you can see, it's not a professionally made bootleg, as you can know. I don't think it was cheap either. I think I paid about probably 10 or 20 bucks for this. But as you can see, this is when I bought it. This will make you guys laugh. You guys love 90s shit. See that? 1st of May 1997, the day after my 21st birthday. You know, and I mean, of course, you know, I had to, you know, play up the fact that it is a bootleg. So there's some more 90s Prince collectibles. Now, enough yakky yak. Let's get into this album in the next video.